Hey everyone, welcome back to the movie studio. Today we're here to discuss When Calls the Heart, Season 11, Episode 1, called When Stars Align. And my mumsy is here to join me. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, guys.
So, Season 11 is finally here. I shouldn't even say finally, because it hasn't been that long of a wait. But I think because of that cliffhanger, it made it feel even longer. Because usually they don't end seasons on cliffhangers. So this was like a special case. So I'm glad it came out. I'm glad it wasn't too long of a wait. This episode, I thought it was a good premiere. Some good moments. I feel like unfortunately we saw a lot of these scenes in previews. Like I would say half the episode we've seen like a glimpse of, which was kind of a bummer. But it's not a bad thing. I just feel like for some reason they're showing a lot of scenes from like the first 4 episodes and saving back a lot of the other stuff is what I'm sensing. But what did you think of the premiere overall?
I thought it was good. I thought it's really setting up what the season's going to be like, and yeah, I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm. It was fun to watch it live because, I didn't see any spoilers online, and we were just able to watch it together for the first time. Was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off immediately where we left off, and an interesting thing is that Bill, at the end of last season, Bill didn't say that Lucas got shot, but then when we pick up here, he tells them that Lucas got shot. So that was interesting. I'm like, why did they change that? Like, which one did he say? Like, do you have any thoughts on that? That was just kind of like weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, was last season they said more like something happened to him?
Yeah, he said like it's Lucas.
It's Lucas. Yeah, I mean, they weren't going to give something away last season, so that's just kind of how they had to end it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was neat that they kind of went back and redid that scene and added exactly what happened. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they go to Capital City, and it was kind of cool how we got to see outside of Hope Valley stuff in this episode. They had some interesting, some of it was green screen shots of the outside Hope Valley stuff, but it was still cool to kind of get out of the town and be realistic that Lucas is still recovering, because if he was just back in Hope Valley, it would be kind of unrealistic. So I like that we're getting to see his recovery. We knew he was going to be okay, but I did like how Elizabeth and Bill going and at his bedside, and then we saw little Jack and Lee and Rosemary were all there too at one point. So it was nice to see how concerned and how happy everyone is that Lucas was safe, but everyone else is also they want to know the deets of Nathan's investigation into the shooting. But throughout the whole thing, you can sense something is off with Nathan. Like he has mixed feelings about how things wrapped up with the investigation, and he's just being very secretive about all of this. And I think we both thought there's more to this. It can't just be they got Montague and that's it. Mm-hmm. Then there wouldn't be a continual investigation, which is what Bill and Rosemary are going to be doing, I assume. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then we have Rosemary getting in onto the drama. She, as a reporter, she wants to know what Nathan's doubts are about the investigation. She is speaking for the whole town, and she wants to address that. But Nathan is honest and says like he really can't share anything. There's really no proof. What were you surprised when someone else had already confessed to the shooting that we don't even know?
Yeah. I mean, it made me automatically think something's up here. Mm-hmm. So, and then of course, the way Nathan acted and then his time with Bill and the way they talked, you knew something's not right here. Mm-hmm. And of course, Rosemary is she's in her element here, and she's going to snoop and figure out and get them to twist their words around, and she really did a good job of that with Bill to figure out something's not right. Yeah. So
that scene with Bill was funny. All of that. I'm looking forward to their dynamic when they work together, because eventually there's going to be some sort of friendship that develops there between them, even though Bill's not obviously seeing it right now. he wants her to stay away and do the stuff himself, but eventually she's going to be tied in, so that's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they didn't immediately jump into them investigating. It's going to take a little bit. But Nathan says that the case has been closed, so he can't do anything with it. But Bill could reopen the case and investigate that way. So that sounds like that's what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he's going to get Rosemary involved somehow. We'll see what happens there. I do kind of wonder whether there's another twist, because this is kind of like a twist that it's someone completely random that we don't know that confessed to the shooting, but it being Montague does sound like too easy, because that's the prime suspect. So I'm wondering maybe there'll be another twist tied in. I don't know what that twist might be, but I don't know. I still feel like it'll end up being Montague who did it. It just feels like because that is who they're suspecting, that it feels a bit too easy. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I mean, I think we've kind of gotten hints to someone in his Lucas's past. So could it be something totally different? It's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing what ends up happening and who it was. So I think it's going to be a good mystery for the season, and getting Bill and Rosemary working together is going to be a lot of fun.
I agree.
So let's move on to, while we're on the topic of Lucas, so he does ask Henry to join his team, and we only saw Henry once in this episode, and he turns it down. I have a feeling that eventually he'll join his team, though, and we'll see Henry working, because I kind of wonder what else he'll be doing when he does come back to Hope Valley. So I have a feeling that they will be working together at some point, because in a summary it said, like, Henry counsels Lucas or something like that. So I have a feeling that's coming at some point, but it's clear that Henry's just not ready for that, which is totally understandable. But we also had, like, because Edwin did not want Henry and Lucas working together. That was very clear. I don't know what that means. I saw a theory online that maybe Edwin was the one who shot Lucas. That would be a plot twist. I don't know why that would be, though. But
I don't picture that. I was more thinking Edwin was more concerned about what it would look like if Lucas aligned with someone who was a former felon.
Yeah.
And what that could do to him for his image, because that's Edwin's job, is to...
Yeah, he's looking out for
Mm-hmm.
Lucas. And Henry's changed, but we don't know. He could easily fall back into old habits.
Well, and unfortunately, regardless of whether someone has changed, and I believe he has, you still have a past, and that still comes up, especially in that political realm.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there and whether Henry will eventually join Lucas's team. But we have Lucas announce and that he's opening up a resort, a hotel and a resort, which is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like in Hope Valley, and we find out that Lee gave him the land. Which I thought was cool. I feel like they're kind of setting up like a Lucas and Lee friendship there, which I think it'll be cool. And I thought that was nice of Lee to do that. And you can kind of see that Rosemary, Lee, and Lucas still are, like, they have like a friendship even though Elizabeth and Lucas aren't together. So I like that that's still a thing. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, let's talk. So yeah, Elizabeth, she wants to get a haircut. We already saw this from the previews, but she does tell Rosemary, like, it's clear that Nathan is on her mind, because Rosemary, when she says, like, ready to take the plunge, she's not even talking about Nathan, but that's just immediately what Elizabeth thinks that she's talking about. And she says, I don't even know if he still has feelings for me anymore. So that's kind of where they're at. They just don't know, like, Nathan obviously still has feelings for her, but he's afraid to put himself out there after what happened last time. Elizabeth's not even sure if he still has feelings for her anymore, but I feel like after what happened at the end of this episode, she should know, because of the way he was looking at her when they were watching the stars, and when he says that she's pretty much indirectly saying that she's beautiful, just like the stars.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that and the look on her face, you can tell, like, she's like, oh yeah, he still has feelings for me. So from here, I think we're gonna see like some flirting and their banter, some of that starting to develop. There wasn't many scenes with them in this episode, but I think that was okay. It was kind of, they both have their own things going on. So, what else? So, Faith. This is interesting. So, first of all, Fiona is gone, apparently. Like, she's gone for good. Well, we don't know that. It's possible she'll maybe come back, but I don't think so. The way they just made it seem is that she's gone for good, which is disappointing because I felt like she was such a good character for when she was on. And yeah, so I was kind of disappointed to hear that she left, and I feel like they never fully gave her character like a good storyline. They kind of just didn't know what to do with her, so it was disappointing to see that she's gone. What do you think?
I agree it's disappointing, but I mean, I thought she was always such a dynamic, cutting edge, just, always blazing a trail for what women can do, and knowing that even if she's not here, that the reason she has left is because she's working with women's rights movements and this kind of stuff. I think it's really cool. So she's continuing forward, blazing her trail as a woman. So I like that. So kudos to her.
And setting the stage for other characters to get more, like Faith and May. Faith is upset about Fiona leaving, and she's feeling lonely because Hickam and May are starting a romance, and she tells Minnie this, and Minnie is really like thoughtful and says like, you'll never be alone even if you feel lonely, which was a sweet scene. And then immediately after that, one of Faith's patients collapses in the Mercantile and is sent to the hospital. And we see that she has a granddaughter named Lily, and we see Faith and Lily starting to form a bond. And then right after that, she gets a telegram from the grandma that says she wants Faith to look after Lily. And so that's kind of be Faith's storyline, which I like. I think that'll be a good role for her. Something we haven't really seen before is her with kids. So I'm looking forward to that. Are you?
I am. I think it'll be good, and I think it's going to give her purpose, and that loneliness will disappear because Lily will keep her busy.
Yeah, she will. It's a cute kid, too.
Very cute.
Yeah. So the last thing is Hickam and May. So they're dating, I guess, from what I can tell. So there wasn't much with them in this episode, but we had him helping her out with the hair stuff, and then he gives her a bike, which is really sweet. And then Bill comes by and says, like, you're like an old married couple or whatever, and then there's some awkwardness between them. And so I wonder if this is foreshadowing for a wedding for them this season. I think it's possible that it is. And I have a feeling that this awkwardness might push them together, and maybe he'll even propose to her, like, soon. Or we might be surprised and she'll propose to him. That's very possible.
Very, very possible.
That would be something different for the show. But yeah, I mean, I think they're cute together. We didn't get much with them, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of their relationship. Are you?
I am, yeah. And I think we will. I mean, we're seeing some previews already that shows the two of them together. And so, yeah, I think their relationship's going to continue to develop, and just, it's cute, and I'm looking forward to see where they go.
So next episode in the previews, we have the main things I saw were, number one, Nathan's birthday. They're going to be celebrating that, and we're going to have him thinking that everyone's throwing a surprise party for him. So Allie and Elizabeth are going to have to scramble, and the town's going to come together, and he's going to get a party. So that's going to be fun to see, and I bet there'll be some humor with that. And the other stuff was... we have Hickam and May were having like a serious conversation about their relationship. So I feel like we're going to get more with them because she's saying like, you're like the best thing I've ever had, she was saying. And then we see Rosemary and Lee And he's saying this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. And so I wonder what's going to happen there. I wonder if Lee's going to offer him, or not Lee. I wonder if Lucas is going to offer him something. We did see Lee was working in the saloon in this saloon now, so that's kind of cool. But we'll see what happens there. But I think next episode's going to be good. Sounds like it's going to be fun, and hopefully some good stuff for Elizabeth and Nathan. So overall, this episode, it was good. I don't know what I would give it. I mean, probably an 8 out of 10. It was a solid premiere, even though we had seen most of it. What would you give it, like 1 to 10?
I think I'd probably give it a 7 or 8. Yeah, I thought it was solid. I am looking forward to, the rest of the season.
Yeah, same. So we'll be back next week to talk about episode 2. Thanks everyone for listening, and bye everyone.
Bye.